1807 in Stratford Hall, Virginia. Stratford Hall was my family's ancestral home in Westmoreland County. My mother and father were both from famous old Virginian families. My father was Major General Henry Lee III, a former governor of Virginia, and descendant of King Robert II of Scotland. My father, also known as White Horse Harry, was a hero who fought in the Revolutionary War. My mother was a member of the Carter family. My great-grandfather, Charles Carter, owned 25,000 acres of farmland and was one of the richest people in America. I was the fifth of 6 children my parents had. I had 3 older brothers and 1 sister. Either sibling died as a baby. I spent my childhood at Stratford Hall and moved to Alexandria, Virginia when I was about 7. That summer, the British invaded Washington, D.C. and set fire to it. I was sent to the country to be saved. My first school was called Eastern View. It was a family school that I went to with my male Carter cousin in the Virginia countryside. At this time, my father went to the West Indies. When I was 11, he tried to come home. He got sick on a ship and was put ashore at Dungeness on Cumberland Island, Georgia. He sadly passed away there on March 25, 1818. My family didn't find out until fall. My mother was becoming an invalid, and my sister Anne got sick and often had to go to Philadelphia to the hospital. My chores included attending to the horses and apportioning out the food supplies. I did whatever I could to look after my mom. In my free time, I swam in the Potomac and played sports with the boys in my neighborhood, and my cousin and best friend Cassie escaped. At 13, I went to Alexandria Academy. My teacher was William B. Leary, an Irishman whom I liked and respected. For 3 years, I studied the classics, Greek and Latin, by Homer and Cicero. My favorite subjects were reading and mathematics, especially geometry and algebra. I graduated in 1823 when I was 16. In 1825, I entered the United States Military Academy at West Point. I graduated from West Point in 1829, and I was second in my class. My first job was an officer in the Army Corps of Engineers. I stayed in the Army for 32 years and fought in the Mexican-American War. I married my wife, Mary Ann Randolph Custis, at her family home, Arlington House, on June 30th, 1861. My wife's great-grandmother was Martha Washington. We had 7 children, 3 boys and 4 girls. In 1861, President Lincoln asked me to be commander of the United States Army. I said no because I didn't want to fight against my home state of Virginia after I left the Union. Then I became advisor to Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederacy. I took command of the Army in Northern Virginia, and by the end of the Civil War, I was General of all the Confederate Army. My greatest victories included the 7 Days Battle, Second Battle of Bull Run, the Battle of Fredericksburg, and the Battle of Chancellorsville. But I lost the Battle of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. On April 9, 1865, I surrendered to General Ulysses S Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. This started the end of the Civil War, which ended officially in July that year. During the war, 258,000 Confederate soldiers and 359,000 Union soldiers were killed. After the war, I negotiated the surrender of all the Confederate army so that soldiers could have rations and keep their horses. They were given a safe return without punishment to their homes in the South. After the war, I became president of Washington College in Lexington, Virginia, now called Washington and Lee. My family's house in Arlington, Virginia became Arlington National Cemetery. In 1862, despite fighting for the Confederacy, I freed all my family's slaves. I wanted to make the USA a better country, especially after the war when I supported President Andrew Jackson and his program of Reconstruction. Robert E. Lee died on October 12, 1870.
Good job.
Mr. Paul, I don't really want to read this again.
No, you know what? I was going to suggest that you not read it again. Ordinarily, if it's short, we read them twice. But you had such great information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, shoot me with the pistol.
I want to die.